I'm Asia, and I realize I have not actually talked directly to this YouTube audience in a long time. I've been posting on TikTok, which is way less informal. I don't know if you've noticed in my last videos, I'm usually in like pajamas. And something about YouTube to me feels more formal, so I feel like I need to look a little better, look a little done up. And when you work from home, and you don't go on Zoom, you don't really feel like you need to do that. So it's just like that. So the past few years, I just have not been posting as much on YouTube, but I do want to do more. I want to build an actual audience on here. So I intend to, and I've pre-recorded some videos. So I have more to post even if I get into like a little slump. Because I'm pretty sure I have some type of attention deficit disorder, but I don't claim things I'm not diagnosed with. So who knows? Just sometimes I want to do this, and then sometimes I want to do that, and they're completely opposites. So my goal is to, especially for this year, is to continue to pull myself back to one space. And that doesn't mean I only talk about one thing or only do one thing, but keep those things interconnected. So I want to re-clarify what this channel is about, what I intended on it to be about, and what I usually talk about over on TikTok too, which is history, politics, and pop culture, and the intermingling of those. I'm a legal professional. I've been a legal professional for since 2015. And so I don't really talk that much about the law itself on here, and I probably won't. But if it does intermingle with some type of historical aspect, I will. Like, I'm not the type of person who will break down a Supreme Court decision. I could if it's important, like I think it's connected to something else that I was talking about, but I'm just like, that's not this type of page. I want to talk more about historical aspects. I want to talk about if we're talking about legalities, what is the legality of race? I think I have a post back there. If we're talking about legality of immigration, what is the history of immigration? And maybe there's some history of laws that can tell us the story of history, but not necessarily focusing on legality itself, because legality is it's kind of a mess. Things being legal or not legal is kind of irrelevant to whether these things happened, or if it's right or wrong, or how does it actually explain how this thing happened, or is it a type of power play move from the person who was in charge for the oppressive group. So legality is not my biggest thing, but I also love pop culture. So like weaving in history to pop culture, which I have not actually done on this page. I do a lot more on TikTok, so I want to bring that here. I want to do like film reviews, TV reviews. If I'm talking about, I have a lot of Black history things I want to do, and I'm just actually realizing it's about to be Black History Month. But bringing in Black pop culture events, tying it into history. One of my big things that I've actually been working on for a few years, I actually like did it a few years ago, recorded it, and just never posted it because it's a little contentious, is how I extremely strongly dislike the 1619 project because it disconnects the African American from the African. It takes us to a place where we are foundational Americans, in which we still to this day are not actually considered to be full citizens, no matter what the law says, and no matter what these people who are anti-African and just don't want to be a part of that experience anymore claim. And so I've been compiling a lot of work from people claiming that there was not the African aspect of our identity comes from recent like things like, oh, we claim to be African American in the 60s, that didn't happen before that. It's like, no, the first African church was in the 1800s. We've always been African. And then there is the disconnect between, and when it comes to film, so we have the beautiful movie Sinners that came out last year. We have Woman King that takes on the difficult conversations about the slave trade in Africa and what really happened. And again, it's a film, so it's not as accurate as it could be, but like how we are starting to just break down these relationships and how we actually should be addressing African American history, which is not tying us to this colonial project that doesn't want us anyway. So that's the kind of stuff I want to talk about. And then, like I said, just playing reviews. Like I'm about to record something for Begonia, I think that's what it's called. A beautiful movie. We have the Oscars coming up. I do not watch the Oscars. I don't really care for award shows anymore. I actually just like if there's something exciting happen, like Will Smith slap somebody again, I'll tune in and watch a clip. But I've never been big into award shows. But they do pick some decent movies. I just don't think they're the arbiter of what is good and bad. But they are the arbitrators of who is funded and who isn't, who is appreciated and who isn't. So that's the only reason like I try to pay attention, because I want to know what's coming. What are the studios looking for this year? And so like that's what I've been talking for a long time. So like that's what I am looking to do with this page. As you can clearly just hear, I am all over the place, but trust me when I say they do come back together. Is there anything else? I've been thinking about A Song of Ice and Fire, but that kind of goes into, or any like fantasy talks, but that goes into more the pop culture thing, which I could blend with books. Um, I have most of my TikTok followers from A Song of Ice and Fire, from Game of Thrones, and then I kind of just stopped because that was just a mess of a thing, and the books aren't done. And so I was like, why should I continue to talk about this if George isn't taking it seriously? But yes, I have a completely laid out agenda. I have pre recorded things. I am recording things. So please expect more consistency from me. If you don't, message me and be like, come back. But yeah, that's just how I want to reintroduce myself. Please join me and have a glass of wine.